And welcome to another edition of the King's Corner. I am one of the hosts here, Mr. Bond Chronicles, and I am super excited to have my mans with me. It's your OG bruh with us. How you doing out there, man?
And what's up with you, man? I know it's been some time. We've been both hella busy.
I know, man. We've been just running. We've just been running, trying to get stuff done with work, trying to look at some different things there. Obviously, the family
Mm.
stuff. We getting closer to like our baby shower, so we getting all that planning.
Oh,
We
I
were
keep
supposed
forgetting
to go. What's
about
that?
that. I keep forgetting you have another baby. Ooh.
Yeah, man. Um, so we got that going. Then just life, dealing with marriage and doctor's appointments, and the whole gambit. So
Kids, school.
kids, school. We just got our first progress report. Progress report was good. I can't even lie. She did good. Better than she thought she was going to do because we ran into an issue where progress report didn't come home, and we like, well, we know you're supposed to have a progress report, so like, where is it? And then she got all quiet and real weird. So I had to hit her teacher. Her teacher like, now we sent it last Friday, so we like,
Ooh.
where is that? And long story short, it didn't have really anything on it. So she thought it was bad, but really nothing was checked, which was good.
Uh,
So now she on punishment, and she actually had a perfect interim report. So you live and you learn. Trying to outsmart
she got in
old Tom,
trouble for something
but nothing.
that wasn't even there.
What should have been a celebration turned into a punishment. So
I remember those
it's
days.
just like that.
I ain't gonna lie, I was the same way.
Yeah. How everything been out there on the business front and just in life for you?
Business friend. It's fucking amazing. Everything's looking real good, real good. That new position's coming up probably, I think I'm supposed to be starting like early October. So I'm gonna finally get back on a regular schedule, so we ain't got to trip about our schedules like eating crossed up. So I'm not gonna be working nights no more. So it's gonna be big things.
It's a bump in pay too.
I actually think I'll match my pay. So the reason I let, because actually I'm going back to the old place I'm going back to the old hospital that I was at. I left there because they weren't paying me enough. Now they were like, hey, we can pay you enough now. I was like, how much? It was like, we can match. I was like, well, it's 15 minutes
Yeah.
away from my house, 2 hour lunches.
What
I'll
you been
fuck
doing
with
for
you.
lunch for 2 hours?
Snapping,
I
playing catch up, making business calls, like stuff like that. That's it.
hear you. I hear you. That's love, man. Well, congratulations to you. Definitely congratulations, King, doing your thing.
Thank you.
Um,
You too,
so
man.
you got new work coming. We're a little late, but we also needed some time to digest, get all the numbers in, see how things shake out. Because there was a lot of drama and a lot of beef going down with this Drake and Kanye album release. So leading up to it, they was getting into it. They was dropping addresses. They was sending shots, just talking crazy. We didn't know when Kanye was going to drop because he kept pushing his joint back. Drake said when he was going to drop, then Kanye randomly dropped on a Sunday. So it was just nuts. Then it was social media, listening party, just the whole, literally, at least in this country, like the world stopped for like a week as both of them released their
Oh,
albums.
definitely.
So I want to turn it over to you. I know we've talked about it in the group chat.
Mhm.
I know before we came on,
Yeah.
you was bumping that way too sexy. So kind of, what do you think?
Oh,
Who do you
definitely.
think won? Whose album do you think is better? Like kind of just your overall
Mhm.
feel for how everything went down.
Honestly, as far as both of them, I'm disappointed on both halves.
Okay.
But at the same time, I'm like satisfied. Like the way that they were hyping it up, I was expecting master classics from both of them. But it just seemed like, as far as Donda, it seemed like Kanye starting to go back into like his original sound. So I'm digging that definitely. But then Drake definitely, I'll say Drake definitely let me down way more than Kanye did. Big letdown compared to Kanye. If anything, I would say Kanye got some brownie points and Drake lost a few for me.
Okay. And so we on we got like two different worlds going. So I'm East Coast, you West Coast. Do you feel like the vibe is the same out there with what you're saying, or is that just more so your opinion?
Oh, definitely my opinion. And like as far as out here, everybody swears that Donda's trash. Drake won by a landslide. That's all you hear playing. Everybody loves it. CLB is a classic. I'm not seeing it.
Classic though.
Yeah, if you ask anybody on the street, like niggas is worshiping this song right now. I know niggas is on social media within 5 minutes saying Drake did it again. Another classic.
Wow. So yeah, out here it's way different. It's more of a mixed bag. I mean, Kanye's Chicago, so he's not really East or West. I know he just bought a $60 million mansion out there in Malibu, but that's not necessarily where you at per se. But I agree with what you said. I feel like Kanye went, and I kind of shared this on the other pod, and just I've been talking to people. It's like I don't even know I would be curious to know when like the awards come around and he better be nominated. Like, what is he nominated for? Like, is it a hip hop album?
Definitely. What genre is this?
Is it a gospel album? Like, what is it? Because it's like Kirk Franklin, but still too street to be gospel. But all the language is edited, and it's a lot of Jesus God talk. So it's not really hip hop. Like, I couldn't imagine much of Donda coming on in like a strip club or like a nightclub per se. Like, people gonna be praising God in a nightclub. Like I'd be with it, but I think it'd be awkward, like to the vibe. You drinking or smoking or rolling or something.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of
you hearing No Child Left Behind or Praise God or like I feel like I don't know how that'll mess with the vibe.
Yeah, the vibe is not gonna be matching on that, definitely.
Yeah. Now off the bridge,
in your opinion, what would you put it?
I think it's still a hip hop album, to be honest. I think, and I don't know if they can do this, I'm not aware. I would put it in both. Like, I think it could clearly trend as a gospel album. And there's definitely songs that could be nominated for like gospel album of the year. I think there's a couple of those. But I think it could be album of the year in hip hop too. Like, you got all of hip hop on the album and same on Certified Lover Boy. But if you are popping in hip hop, you're on Donda's album. So it's hard for me not to think that it is still a hip hop album because you got everybody in hip hop on the album. So
I consider it a gospel album. I'm not gonna lie.
More gospel. I mean,
like definitely majority of the songs is about God, so I'll give it to him.
Yeah, and
at least more than majority.
No, definitely more than majority. I mean, there's a couple on there, and again, I think he framed it the way he did for like streaming numbers to play with the numbers, like all those part twos. Allegedly, he couldn't get the baby's verse cleared in time, or maybe Jay-Z ain't want to be on the same song as the baby because of all the baby's controversy. But I feel like, Meg is yes. I didn't even think about that. That's a good point. Meg is Roc Nation.
You got to think about that too.
Okay. So I get him not wanting to be on it with the baby, but that part of it, that makes a lot of sense. I didn't think about that.
Remember they had a falling out. Like, they was cool. And then he brought out Tory Lanez, and her and Party was like, man, fuck that nigga.
Yeah. I mean, so that's the thing. Like,
big politics.
It's business. Like, so is Drake or Kanye going to be mad at Travis, Lil Baby, Lil Durk, Jay-Z, all these people that are on their album knowing they beefing? Like, just because we beefing, that don't mean other people can't work with you. Like, what sense does that make? Like, I don't really get her beef with him. Like, he made a record, and the record had been out, and I can still support you. But if the bag come calling, I got to get the bag. I got kids to feed. I got a family. I got a life I'm trying to live. And he's a hot artist, just like you are.
Definitely. I think you
So,
even said the same thing. Like it's all love, but it's business.
all right. So, and if our fan bases are similar, then it would make sense. When I'm doing my concert, I would bring him out as a surprise guest since everybody else in the industry was already at the show. Like I
True.
think she's mad over nothing when there was different interviews that came out that showed that's hypocritical. Like she was rocking with people when people she was dealing with wasn't rocking with them. So I didn't get it. I don't like it. I think it's messy.
True.
But for Jay, I get why Jay. Now that you bring that up, that's a great point. Like if that's his artist, like
Mm-hmm.
you got to ride for your artist. So now I get that 100%. So you
Yeah,
said
how I
it's
look if he fucking with somebody that's not fucking with.
yeah, like, and he understands the game and what they're trying to do with her.
Yeah,
If you watch
definitely.
the Grammys, Meg was everywhere, so she's the pinnacle until Rihanna come back of Rock Nation. So you can't piss her off. Granted, I think she needs them more than they need her, but you ride for
Oh,
her.
definitely, definitely.
Um,
Meg was
so yeah,
cool. I ain't gonna lie,
that's it.
but
What's that?
Meg is definitely cool. But Rock Nation don't need her.
Yeah, no, they can find another one of her. I was watching an interview the other day. Rihanna said she working. She said the music is coming. She's excited about it. She said it's different. She said she feel like music is just
Mm.
like fashion. She can wear whatever she want, so she can make whatever kind of music she want. I don't know what that means. I don't know if that's like a gospel Kanye route, which I doubt because she's running around with ASAP Rocky, or if it's like a
Nah,
rock route. I don't know what that means. I
can't
ain't heard
say.
nothing, but I'm open. I don't think Rihanna misses, so
Definitely,
it'll
yeah.
be
She definitely
curious to
always,
see.
even when she steps outside the box, it still hits.
Yeah,
I definitely can't wait for it. She been out there like Kanye talking about it's on the way. But I mean, I'm
I
not
will
mad.
do.
While she wasn't making millions, while she wasn't making music, she made like a billy.
Yeah. Like Fenty is everywhere. I'm probably gonna try and see what I can do for my girl for Christmas. She says apparently the makeup is legit and it's not terribly priced, so I might throw a little stock,
Yeah,
well, in the stocking, but little something, break her off.
yeah. I heard it's
Um,
better. I heard it's best for the queens, man, because compared to like the color complexes and stuff like that, it's not really a lot of makeups out there that got that choices,
right.
especially for black
Yeah,
women.
yeah, yeah. So no, I definitely try to support my black dollars and give them to black people. So definitely support Rihanna and all that she's doing. So with that, you said you feel like it's a gospel album. So
Yeah, in
Kanye
my
put out a
opinion.
gospel album, and after the album released, we got Certified Lover Boy. You said you feel like it was a bigger disappointment. Tell us more.
It literally didn't even make any sense. Like, what was the rollout? The rollout was he took over ESPN with the whole. Was it supposed to be like a Joker montage? Like, I like when artists do creative shit, but don't have us guess this shit because then there's gonna be 15 million opinions out here, and ain't nobody gonna know which one's which. So like, I feel like if he was trying to go for the whole Joker thing, that's hella clever. It's dope. I like it. But if that's the case, what was the point of you hijacking ESPN? Like maybe it was for a bag because I guess he definitely messing with the NBA, and I guess now he getting a bag with the NFL. So makes sense for them to do some business with him and be like, hey, we'll give you a commercial. So I could see that. But then like even with the visuals for both of them are retarded. The
Yeah,
visuals
I
for
agree.
Donda, like it's all black. I mean, I don't get it. Maybe I missed something. And then the visuals for his COB is like 9 different emoji females. Like, I mean, I get why he did it. It's supposed to be because the album's 9 months late. But like, what was your original idea? Like, was that your original idea, or did you not have an idea? And you was like, hey, it's 9 months late. Let's just have it be like a pregnancy. Like, it didn't make sense. The album's called Certified Lover Boy, but the artwork is all pregnant females. I'm lost. Like, what are you telling me? You're a Debbie dad. Like, you're out here getting bitches pregnant. Are there more Adonises out there? I'm like, let me know. Are you
Oh,
Future? I'm just,
no,
I don't.
no,
What's
no, I
going
hope
on?
not.
I wouldn't be
Um,
surprised.
I mean, the fact that Drake, as what I've understood Drake to be, the fact that he only has one kid is kind of surprising. Same thing with like Bow Wow. Like I know Bow Wow's track record. I think he has two kids. So some of these people that we know is out there, you would think they have more kids than they do, but they don't, or at least we don't know about it. I agree
Definitely.
on a lot of what you said though. So my understanding, and I don't know how late it came together. Like we'll probably never know. So I know when it was him and Kanye was beefing, Kanye added Pusha to the text and sent them a joke or something, a Joker message or something.
Yeah, the Joker
So,
meme.
yeah. So if I get if Drake's trying to say I'm the real Joker because I think it was in Dark Knight where he hacked the news station. I think it was Dark Knight or yeah, I think it is
Yeah,
Dark
yeah,
Knight.
it was.
So is he saying I'm more Joker than you? Because that to me, I like the concept, but I think it's kind of corny. Like he already said I'm Joker. Like you should have done something about like defeating Joker. To me, like just being Joker 2.0, to me was kind of corny.
Yeah.
And then the 9 months late thing I get, but like he's walked around with the part in his head all this time. So I was thinking it will be like more romantic maybe of an
Correlation.
album, but more of
Uh,
a lover boy. I think is like a positive. Like you're romantic, you're outgoing, but none of the
like some Keith
songs.
Sweat.
Yeah. And Drake loves to sing. I can't stand singing Drake, but that's what he does.
Me
But it
either.
just
Oh my god.
nothing about the album or the concept went together to me. Like he people keep talking about Drake lives rent free in Kanye's head. He talked about Kanye all through that album.
The
Like
whole album.
from the
I don't.
intro to
As
the
far as
middle. Good.
yeah, the whole thing. As far as I could tell, Ye didn't bring up Drake and Donda at
At
all.
all. The only
So
time Drake or Ye brought up Drake was in the song release that Drake released. So like Kanye didn't even mention Drake, have anything to do with Drake. But then if you go and mention me, mention me. Like, and that's
exactly.
what I appreciated about Life of the Party. Kanye said Drake's name. He said, "You and Virgil, this is where I'm at with it. Cut it out." And he took it where he needed to take it. But Drake, it was all subliminal but straightforward, like dropping the address line. And when Drake drop a time and a location, you know what time it is. So now he ate that up, but that doesn't go with the album. Like
Yeah, the whole.
if you gonna be that guy, I think they should have changed the name or the concept or something because it didn't make sense. Like Donda made sense. There was a bunch from the beginning to the middle to really the end. There's his mom is influential. His music videos have his mom in it. Like everything around Donda is God and my mom, and that's where
With
he's
the
at
theme.
with the theme. So
Yeah,
Drake is. I think he's great at marketing. The rollout with the
definitely.
little billboard things, I thought it was cool, but
I enjoyed that. I thought that was clever.
yeah, I liked it, but I don't know. I thought there would be more, and like because it had been so long, I was up here. I heard Donda. I knew they was beefing, and I'm like, oh, Drake's coming. Like he dissed actually. He alluded to the diss before. It wasn't on on Trippie Red song or whatever. So like I'm like Drake's in
Oh
album
yeah.
mode. He about to rap. He started off with Champagne Poetry. I'm like, oh, we about to get Drake. And
I
outside
hate that.
of until Champagne Poetry until probably the 7 a.m. on Bridal Path or whatever, we don't hear Drake talk again for real. Like he gets wiped on every song. I thought Jay out rapped him. I thought Dirk and them out rapped him. I thought Travis got him back for sicko mode. Jay
Yeah.
clearly dusted his hands with him. So
Like
it
Neo
wasn't.
fighting Mr. Smith.
Yeah, I was confused.
Yeah, the whole theme it didn't really go together either. It was like, are you in love with these hoes or are these hoes breaking your heart? Like I'm confused. Is that what a lover boy is? I'm just.
Not to me.
It was just like all over the place.
Cause
Definitely. I
like,
mean, not in my opinion. I mean,
cause like
it
on
just
one
didn't make
song he's
sense.
like, "Forget y'all. I'm a boss. I do all this stuff." And on the other song he's like, he's pissed because somebody broke his heart. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if because he got pushed
Yeah, it
back,
was.
he was at different stages in his life when he was writing different songs. But I just, if it was anybody, not if it was anybody else, most people, I'd be good with this album. But it was also that this was the same Drake album. I've got the last 4 Drake albums, and it was the worst version of it. No?
Well, what's your favorite Drake album?
Mm, probably if you're reading this, it's too late.
All right, I ain't gonna lie. That's my favorite too. So I say worst out of the 4. I don't know, man. Views was pretty terrible to me.
You don't
Views
like
is frizzy
views?
music.
I
Views
didn't.
views is frizzy music.
I didn't love it. More Life I thought was solid. Scorpion was a lot, but it was just the
I
same
still haven't even
melodic.
listened to Scorpion.
It was a bunch of those melodic songs that I just don't like that Drake. I like Wants and Needs Drake. I like Lemon Pepper Freestyle Drake. I like Energy Drake. I like 7 a.m. on Bridal Path Drake. I like Back to
Yes,
Back Drake. Like, that's the Drake. If Drake would just make an album like that, just give me 10 songs. 10 songs of that Drake, I would be ecstatic. Get a couple of
I'll
your
take
homies,
8.
not the same. Huh?
I'll take 8.
Yeah, I'll take 8. And
Man,
you don't got to do no more songs of Future, Young Thug, Travis Scott. Y'all have done enough music together.
oh my god.
Like, you've done quite a few songs with Jay, and they work. But I've seen you with those guys a bunch. Same thing with Lil Baby. You and him, you and Dirk. Y'all got about 3, 4 songs now. Find somebody else. Do something different. I feel like this was Drake's safe way through, and is doing crazy numbers. He was number 1. He had number 2. I think he was number 1 for 2 weeks in a row. But his drop off in sales was huge. But Drake's going to do numbers.
Big.
I just, it just was disappointing. I think in 5 years, we're not going to remember this album. Like, and when we look at this year in albums, especially with the King's Disease 2, with Tyler's album, with Donda, with J. Cole's album, with Voice of the Heroes, with Migos, with all these people dropping, I just don't think Certified Lover Boy is gonna stand the test of
Be
time.
up
And he
there.
better hope Wale, Ross, and Kendrick and Diddy don't drop this year, which they're all supposed to drop too.
All I know is Kendrick is coming for that ass, and he's pretty much said it multiple times. So I can't wait for that.
And I think
Definitely can't
it's
wait for
gonna
that.
be, and I think it's gonna be a huge shot for Drake, because if you think you that dude, and Kendrick put out what sound like Kendrick coming with, it's gonna make that gap. That won't be a conversation.
Yes, yeah. It's as far as Drake, we definitely know, man. He's the King Midas of hip hop. You put Drake on
Yeah.
anything, it's gonna do big numbers, big numbers. So I already knew this album was gonna go crazy, but now even like with this people talking about, oh, is Drake the new Michael Jackson? I love that post that
Ah,
somebody was like, they was like,
yeah, I
what
seen
does
that.
Drake have? What does Drake really have? I'd say he barely has a classic album, barely one or two, maybe one. And he been out for too long.
I don't think so. I can't think of a when I think of classic, I think for me it's kind of like the Hall of Fame. Like, either it's classic or it's not. When you say Black Album, to me, there's no, like, that is what it is. Graduation to me, super dope. Carter 2, super dope. Like, there's certain albums, you say the name, Blueprint, like, you don't even have to think, is that a classic? Is that a not? I don't think Drake has any of those. Nothing even really close. He's that I can think of that I would say, yo, that joint's timeless. Like, I don't think he's I don't think he's made an album like that.
If you're reading this, it's too late. That's the only
That's
Drake
the
album that
first
I
one.
love. It's still timeless.
But
I
but
call
if
it a
I'm
classic.
comparing that to even say Jeezy's first 2 or 3 albums, I'm not picking
Mm-hmm.
that over Thug Motivation. I'm not picking that over Blueprint, Reasonable Doubt. There's a bunch of albums that Carter 1, Carter 2,
Hey,
maybe even Carter 3. So
hey, I ain't gonna
if
lie,
it
man.
was
You right.
like Doggy Style, The Chronic, I can even get into some
Oh yeah, you
Eminem
right.
albums. Like there's a
Yeah,
bunch
you
of
right. You
albums I
right.
would take ahead of If You're Reading This Too Late, and it's good. It's really good, but I don't even
You
know if
right,
I would
man.
take it over
I
like
can't.
food and liquor. And I love Lupe, but he shouldn't be making better albums than Drake. But I thought that album was amazing.
Mm. Food
So
and Liquor was an amazing album.
I don't know, man.
That's your favorite Lupe? I love the Cool.
I think Food and Liquor is more critically acclaimed, but I like the Cool better. I want to make sure. I think I like the Cool better.
Mm-hmm.
But Kick Push, I think is probably his best joint. I think the Cool had Superstar on it, right? Think so.
Yeah,
I think that
and
was on the
Kick
second.
Push too.
It did. It did. So yeah, I will go with that. But I think most people have Food and Liquor higher. Um, but yeah,
Definitely.
I don't think Drake has made those kind of music like albums, but he makes great music. So he'll trend on the charts for 20 years or whatever he did, which was absolutely absurd. I forget it was almost like 10
Definitely.
years had a song on Billboard. So like I'm not questioning that, but even when I start thinking about putting Drake in a verses with some of the elites, I think he'll have a long night. I think you put him up there with Jay, Wayne, Kanye. I think he has a long night.
I can definitely agree to that. Everybody gonna say Drake gonna win, but the proof is in the pudding. I don't see Drake doing anything like that, especially with the people that you just listed.
Yeah. And apparently I did on the apparently him and Swiss Beats still got issues because he took his shot at him too. So I don't think we're gonna get
Yeah,
Drake in
I
the
didn't.
verses for that reason. But I thought they was cool, but I guess Drake ain't let
It,
go.
it, yeah, I was confused on what the hell that was about too. It was a lot of subs too. Like I don't really like shit like that. At me
Yeah,
if it's real.
facts. Like
That
if
shit
you
was
talking to
weird.
me, make it clear, make it plain, so there's no if ands buts or maybe. Like um, when you name like when Pusha named his son in a song, like you knew what it was.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, that's still that's still timeless to me because I just remember arguing with so many people online, and it was like Drake just killed Push, Drake just killed Push, and then I think was it even like the next day,
yeah,
and
I think it
then
was the next
the
day.
the artwork for it was Drake with the
The
blackface.
blackface. Yeah,
Oh my god, I was like, I remember all day on Facebook, Twitter. I was just big dog. Just it was just crickets everywhere. Nobody was
yeah,
talking because they had no reply. Your favorite artist got a son. He lying to y'all, and he's keeping that nigga away like border patrol. Oh my gosh, oh
yeah.
my gosh.
That's when the
And I,
rap is real, man.
I still love that Push is still like on this nigga's head too. Even Drake
Oh
has
yeah,
admitted like I took a L, but Push is still like it's not done.
yeah. Push from VA. Shout out VA doing our thing.
Big.
So for you so far, like we named a bunch of different albums. What do you have so far for your album of the year? Rap
Right
album.
now, album of the year. Album of the year. Mm, I'm gonna say, damn. When did Savage Mode come out? Was that Savage Mode came out this year? The new Savage Mode. 21 Savage's
Uh,
new album.
let me check.
I think
That
that
was
was this year.
nah, that came out last year,
Okay,
October 2020.
perfect. That means last year's album of the year was that. So this year, I'm gonna definitely say. Now I'm backpedaling, thinking too hard. This year, I'm gonna go with album of the year. We're talking about hip hop, or we talking about all music.
Um, we can do either. I was thinking hip hop, but if you think there's another album that's album of the year for you, we can go there.
I'll
Or
do.
do
I'll do.
both.
Yeah, I'll do both. So for hip hop, I'm gonna definitely say I'm gonna go with Cole's last album. I'm hella mad that I'm drawing a blank. What was it?
Off season. The off
Off
season.
season. Off season was amazing to me. But I'm a big J Cole fan, so I'm biased. I'm definitely gonna say
You
that.
preaching to my girl's ears. She loves J Cole.
Yeah, if J Cole was to sneeze on a track, it would be fire. The way people are with Drake, that's how I am with Cole. I'm not gonna lie.
Now his following is as legit as they come.
Man, I fuck with Cole hard. But then as far as like all music, I don't even know if it was an official album, but Hotels, Jasmine Sullivan's last EP or album,
Yeah, it was an EP, but that was this year.
hard,
Yeah,
hard.
I
Like,
did not think you would say that. But that joint is it. I think R&B, and I was expecting more R&B this year, but R&B album of the year I think is going to be a tough category if Summer and SZA get in the game, but they ain't jumped out there yet.
I don't know, man. SZA, last couple singles SZA's been putting out. I don't know what's going on with that. Haven't really been feeling that temperature. Summer,
Yeah,
I feel like summer is just,
she having mad baby daddy issues, so I'm expecting
and
some
that's the
fire.
problem. That's the whole problem. I feel like the whole SZA, Summer Walker's whole thing, like her whole sound, is kind of like based off of London on the track. So how you about to make that same sound if you beefing with the nigga who kind of put you together? It's like Justin Timberlake without Timberland. It's like it's cool, but it's not the
Ain't the
same.
same. Ain't the same.
So honestly, I think Summer Walker. I think Summer going swing and a miss on this one. Her next album probably
Ooh,
gonna be trash.
dang.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna call it.
We gonna see, but that could be what the delay is because she was on social media heavy for a little bit, and I figured the album was coming. When people get on social media stirring stuff up, usually something's coming, but she been
Yeah, it's
pretty
just
quiet
pictures of
since.
her in the studio, and it's like it's coming soon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
we'll see.
Chris ain't putting that out in a minute. He been on a couple features, but still waiting to see if he gonna pop out sometime.
Maybe next year. I don't think this year.
Yeah, nah, I think it's he make fall. Well, he makes summer music too, though. So nah, he'll probably wait. Maybe next
Yes.
spring, next
Oh yeah,
summer.
definitely. But then who else? Yeah, I think Summer Walker's album only might do numbers is because people want to be messy and hear Summer talk shit about London on the track. That's the only reason I think it's gonna do numbers.
Yeah,
But
I'm with
besides
you.
that, probably a swing and a miss.
Cool.
Probably a swing and a miss.
Uh, so for me, I have off season second.
Mm-hmm.
Um, part of it for me, I ain't gonna lie, like I believe in Jesus Christ. I'm saved, love him, good dude. But my biggest thing for me, I don't know if I'm getting old or what,
Mm-hmm.
but like music, I want to feel music. And so like my mother in law and my wife always get on me because they be like, "Why you got the TV so loud? Like, while watching sports or listening to music?"
Mm-hmm.
And it's because I need my music to be an experience. Like I want the surround sound. I want the theater experience.
The full
We had
experience
this,
of it.
and so for me, the album that did that the most was Donda. Like I've sat, like I got a pretty decent setup here,
Mm-hmm.
but like when certain songs come on between Off the Grid, Jail, Heaven and Hell, um, Jesus Lord, there's like uh what is it? I can't think of the other name of it. Not Come to Me. Um I'm
Praise
drawing a
God.
blank. Not Praise God. Praise God is one, but it's another.
Heaven and Hell.
Nah, definitely Heaven and Hell.
Remote Control.
Nah, I do like it, but that's one of my least. I cannot think of it. Come on,
Who's on the
man.
feature?
I don't remember. I almost got it pulled up. Not Junior. Um, New Again. New Again. I couldn't. I don't know. I couldn't remember that. No, Come to Life. Come to Life. That's the one I was thinking about.
Can't even
When
recall
those
that.
songs come on, like I feel the songs. It's almost like people say if you put positive music on around plants, they grow better. Versus if you put like negative music or sounds around plants, they'll die. Like it's just an uplifting album that I can play with my kids in the car. I can play when I'm in the car by myself. I can play it in the car with my girl in there, with my mom in there, with my grandmother in there, with my church friends in there, with my
Mm-hmm.
street friends is in there. Like I can play it anywhere and different songs hit. So for
Definitely.
me, that's where I'm like, for me, that's album of the year because the production on this album was, to me, far superior to anything else that came out. Lyrically, no, it's not. It's not even close to King's Disease. It's definitely not Off Season, which I'm not the biggest J. Cole fan. Obviously, I know he can rap. I think he's
Mm-hmm.
super dope. But I'm not a J. Cole like fan. Like I hear him,
Yeah,
I like him, but when the song goes off, I'm like, yeah, he was spitting. What's the next song?
yeah.
I don't
It's
sit and be like, yo, he was that. I'm not like that with him. This album, I was like,
off
I like
season.
this. Yeah, this J. Cole for me was one of my favorite albums of his. And it's kind of like when we were talking about Donda, it was short, but there wasn't really a bad song on there. The
You said it was
interlude, like,
short.
yeah, it was only like 40 minutes.
Oh, I thought you meant like track list wise. But yeah, you're
No, no,
right.
no, no, no. Because he got like the interlude that was on there. I think that's like 2 minutes. 95 South. I think that might be like 2 minutes and some change. And then conceptually, I thought 95 South was dope, where he started in New York and ended up in Atlanta.
Yeah, it was
I
clever.
got that. Yeah. So no, I thought the album was great, but just for me, for feel, for overall conceptual content, I thought Donda was just amazing. Second for me in the R&B world, I don't know. Do you listen to Snow Allegra?
Never heard. I thought you were about to say Snow the product. Never heard of her. Who's Snow Allegra?
Oh no, if you get a chance, Snow, she dropped the album this year, and that joint's fire. But for me, and Jasmine was right there. I'm glad you brought her up. For me, it's still her album, and I know she was just out there with y'all, and it looked like the show was amazing.
It
So I'm
did look
really
fire.
excited
I
to
was
see
hyping
her when
that.
she come out here. But it, I was listening to it last night. Like I'm still listening to it. Her, I love you. Keep doing your thing. I'm excited to come to your show.
She just did a
So
festival actually in
yeah,
Oakland.
that's what I'm saying. I know. She brought Chris Brown out.
The Light Fest.
Um, yeah. That apparently that's her thing. It said curated by her, so I don't know if she owns Lights On Fest or
That's
I don't know
crazy.
how it works, but yeah. So I, from what I saw, and I followed both of them on the internet, like it looks super dope.
Bro, I passed it by. I didn't even know what was going on. It was huge. Like the whole arena, because they wasn't even in the arena. They were just outside in the parking lot. And that parking lot is huge. And they had it packed.
Dang.
Police were everywhere. Police were packed down. Police had like stationed like 3, 4 blocks down for each block because it was people still walking. And this was like at 5 o'clock at night.
Dang.
So I think
Yeah, I
she
know
definitely hit it.
it was 2 days, so that's good. Happy for her. Pun intended. But yeah, man,
What
it's
was the
been a good
artist you said?
year.
Snow?
Yeah,
Oh,
Snow Allegra. I can send it to you, but it's if you're in like R&B, she got real smooth voice, similar to her in not really Jasmine. It's not. It's softer than probably Jasmine, but they're similar actually too. They're in the same realm. If you like them too, you'll like her. Like her joints are solid.
I'm gonna check her out.
So speaking of music, we had another verses. Um, I guess more verses for our generation. Ja Rule was definitely the guy. Him and Fat Joe when I was middle school, high school, him, Ashanti.
Oh,
Um,
definitely,
huh?
definitely.
Oh yeah. So I was surprised leading up to it how many people. I was surprised and I wasn't surprised because like I remember the songs that I was rocking to when Ja Rule was out, and I remember the stuff Fat Joe did too. But I didn't think it was really going to be that close. Like Ja's catalog is he don't take a backseat to many people, but when you become an easy target, which is what he became in the 50 Cent, people
Mm.
try and act like your music ain't your music. And so people was talking about Fat Joe was going to do this and that, and I didn't feel that way. Um, so I definitely thought he won the verses. I thought he performed really well. I was really happy to see all the people came out. Ashanti,
Of course.
man, listen, I don't know what she do, but the girl looked exactly like she did on stage as she did when I was in middle school.
Man,
Like just fine, not no blemishes. Just everything. She still voice sound good,
yeah,
clear. And I didn't get to watch her verses because I think I had to work. I did something, so I missed her verses. And I think that was the one with Keisha Cole, maybe or
yeah, it
somebody
was.
she
It
did it
was.
with.
It was
So
Keisha.
I heard it was, and it wasn't in the same area, like it was a Zoom joint or whatever. So
Yeah, it
I
was
just don't
trash.
think we got to get Ashanti. Like we needed to get Ashanti,
Yeah, it
but
was trash. They were sitting down.
yeah, nah. Versus it's come a long way, and I'm glad to see it is where it is.
So you like the whole new
Um,
setup now with the whole stage performance?
I do. I think it had to evolve mainly
Mm-hmm.
because they had a bunch of issues with sound quality. So
Definitely.
now I think one as a business, you can sell tickets, you can sell merch. Um,
True.
they're tying it into like fighting and boxing events and stuff like that. So from a business standpoint, and all the
Mm.
people up until the end of the Apple deal got like ownership equity in the company. So now they're all getting paid off of all the original versus people.
Ooh.
So now I'm really excited to see where they're going. I was one that said when the Apple deal ended, and I think they had like Ghostface and Raekwon or somebody, the first one they had with Triller, I was like,
Yeah.
this is gonna die. Like outside was starting to open at that point. People were starting to move around. I think they did that on like a Friday or Saturday. I was like, people is not gonna be staying in the house to watch these Zoom verses. And they adjusted. And now they've been having it on Thursday. I think this one was on Tuesday at Madison Square Garden on a non-football night, on a non-weekend. Like they made the necessary adjustments, and so
Yeah.
and they got big names again. So no, I was excited. I was entertained by it. Fat Joe left a lot to be desired for me, but that's just my 2 cents. What you think?
I mean, going into it, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely, man. 50 definitely put a bad taste in my mouth with Ja Rule. So like, even the mention of Ja Rule, I'm like, that nigga's weak. So like, I was like, at first, I was when they told me it was Fat Joe versus Ja Rule, I thought about it and I was like, that don't make sense. Cause like, I'm not gonna knock Ja. Ja, when he had it, he had it. He was like pretty much like the Drake when he had it. He was on everybody's song. Everybody was loving him. He was everywhere. He was doing the whole rapping, singing, the whole more thug things. Like he was getting it definitely. But then like as far as Joe, it's like I feel like Joe. I don't really know Joe's music like that. I know that he's got a couple of songs, a couple of big songs, but that's I feel like no lie. I feel like that's only because of Khaled. Either through Khaled's like the way that he's producing it, or like the whole promo that maybe Khaled is coming with it, or maybe it's just Fat Joe. But like
Yeah.
as far as Fat Joe's music, I don't really know much about his catalog, so it didn't really make sense to me. But I knew that was gonna be trash. I knew Ja was gonna destroy that.
And that's the thing. Like, I think it was kind of a follow up to the Dipset Locks kind of thing where you got like a street guy group or person, and then you got like
Mm,
a more mainstreamish popularity because Dipset's definitely more mainstream than Locks to me.
Definitely.
But the problem was Dipset and Locks were both still street content, even though one was more mainstream.
Yeah.
In this scenario, you had a street guy, but you had like a singing guy that was also mainstream. So it wasn't like two gangster rappers going against each other. It was like a gangster rapper and a singing rapper, and I'm mainstream, and I got a bunch of really, really big, timeless hits.
Exactly.
And I think Fat Joe came out thinking he was going 50 Cent Ja Rule and clown him about Fire Festival and clown him about singing and all that. And Ja Rule was just ready for it. He was saying, when you was talking about, he's like, you ain't got no new music. He said, I don't need new music because all of these are classics. Joe was like, I've been doing this all this time. He like, yeah, you was out before me, you was out after me, and you still ain't caught me. And at that point, I was like, oh, this is over. Like, you can't say nothing. You can't, bully him or try and little bro him at this point. Like, he's got it. And then he brought Ashanti out, and he brought Lil Mo and Vita out. And it was like, Remy's great, but I got these other aces right here. And then Fat Joe brought Nelly out, which I don't know why, where that came from or the relevance, but he was just grasping for straws, and he took that L.
It was like watching an old school Yu-Gi-Oh cartoon. Like, Yugi's gonna play the Dark Magician card, so you like, bruh, or like Kaiba gonna drop that Blue Eyes White Dragon. You just waiting on it. I was like, when is Fat Joe gonna bring out Khaled?
And he didn't. And that was surprising. That was really surprising that because they was together just recently. Like they super tight. So and
that's his man.
Khaled hasn't done a versus.
Like I feel like that would have been like not his trump card. It was already too late, but it would have been at least a fight back.
Yeah, and Khaled's energy is great for verses. Like he has versus energy. Like you need those kind of people. That's why people love Jada. That's why people love Ja, because you had that energy, and Khaled would have gave you that energy. And so I didn't think about that actually. Why he didn't bring him? He brought Remy, but I'm sure I knew Khaled would have came.
Exactly. Like I knew Remy was coming. I fuck with Remy, but Remy at the same time is like right up there with Joe. It's like y'all kind of got like the same catalog. It's respect, but like I feel like he definitely missed his chance when he should have came out with Khaled.
Yeah, and he missed a bunch of features that he could have did, playing a bunch of like old school street joints that I think he was trying to follow the Locks blueprint of doing like freestyles and stuff. But that don't work when you got a dude over here singing these smash hits. Like it just
all the girls singing in the crowd and stuff.
And that I think that's another important piece with verses that we did see here is, and I don't know if you can know ahead of time, but you got to know your audience. And when Fat Joe saw all them women in the audience, he should have knew he was in for a long night. Like you can't go to all that street stuff with a bunch of women in the audience. Like they ain't gonna feel you like that. Ja got them singing along to the songs. He tell them to hold up. They ahead of him on what the song like. That wasn't it. He blew that.
He's still his performance skills is definitely still up there. I ain't gonna lie. I wasn't expecting it.
So you said when you heard Ja's name, it put a bad taste in your mouth because of what 50 did. So my question to you is, why wasn't 50 on that stage?
Who would have brought him? Fat Joe?
Nah, he should have stood across Ja Rule. They got all this beef.
No. That's 50. 50 got money now. You have to pay him to be on that versus.
No, everybody gets.
50
I'm
got
sure Swizz and Tim can pay them. They pay Gucci and Jeezy.
Gucci and Jeezy is not getting the same checks as Curtis 50 Cent Jackson right now.
I'm trying to tell you.
That man has an ABC show and like 3 shows on Stars right now. Music, 50 needs to stop making music. Even in his shows. I'm like, why are your songs in here?
He's too big to be on the stage, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like does 50 really need to make any more music anymore? Like,
no, but
put it down.
I don't think any of them need to make music. My biggest thing is if you're gonna buy, the first 2 rows to my concert to embarrass me, if you're gonna be talking crazy about me for year after year after year, trolling me, doing me dirty, I'm in New York. I'm in New York on a huge stage. You need to come see me and little bro me and put me in my place like you say you would. If you that dude, I don't want to hear no more talking on no internet or no cameras if you can't get out on this stage and battle me.
True, but I get what you're saying, but that's a that's not that's not 50 or Ja's fault. That's Swiss and Timberland's fault. They should have came out the bag and made it 50 versus Ja. Because who wouldn't have seen that?
So do you think they reached out to 50 and he said y'all need to pay me more? Do you think they reached out and he was just like, I'm not gonna waste my time? I imagine that call had to be made. 50 was presented with an opportunity to battle Ja Rule. And according to Ja Rule, he wanted to battle 50. So I find it hard to believe that they couldn't have come to some kind of financial agreement because Versus is making a bunch of money. So I don't
both.
think, huh? You think it's both?
I think it's a combination of both. Because like even as far as timing too, you got to remember. I think BMF his new show is coming out in like either this week or next week. So it's like, does he really have time to put in energy into putting into like this whole Versus right now? And I would bet that if I was, at least if I was 50, I would be like, I'm gonna need a big bag, and because yesterday's price is not today's price, just like Fat Joe be saying.
That's what he kept saying.
I don't think that maybe Tim and Swiss was ready to put up that type of money, especially what probably 50 was asking for.
Fair enough.
That's just my opinion.
For me, I'll come up there for free if I have the opportunity to finish the career of somebody I've been trolling forever. And I think you look like a coward for coming up with any kind of excuse to not stand across from him. That's just me. And I think if he would have said, I need my show to come out, let's do this in November, Ja Rule would have accommodated it. Because although I won't even say me, although mainstream has made it out to be that Ja Rule's a clown, Ja Rule, he ain't. People don't give him the respect he deserves. And he played some joints like he was one of the original three with him, Jay-Z, and them. Like he been that dude for a long time.
True.
And he got rap joints with DMX and them, but then he made the change and he went mainstream. Unfortunately for him and really Ashanti, Irv Gotti ran into some trouble, and we ain't really got new music from them since all that went down. But I think it's interesting, but I thought it was I think 50 owed it to the fans to stand in front of Ja Rule.
It definitely would have been big. He definitely could have used it as promotion too for BMF. It would have been a smart business move.
Stars could have sponsored the event. We would have had mad commercials.
Oh, definitely.
Like they could have definitely incorporated that for sure.
True. I don't know. Ain't no telling with 50, man. That would have been lovely to see. I would have loved to see that. I would have paid money for that. If they would have asked for $5 for that Versus, I would have been like, shit, take this.
Absolutely.
Take this.
Absolutely.
I was reminded though. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, man, I forgot y'all had this. Ooh.
Yeah.
He definitely reminded me. I ain't gonna lie. No cap. I definitely forgot.
So yeah, man. Hopefully this will kind of conclude the year of beef. We didn't get the Ja Rule 50 joint. I haven't heard a bunch from Kanye or Drake since their albums dropped, and now it's been a couple weeks. Both of them been kind of quiet. Kanye went to Germany. Drake was just having dinner with Khaled. He's doing his football NFL stuff. So maybe it's over, I guess. I don't know. So what do you think Kanye's next album is going to be? Is it going to be another gospel-like album? Because this is like his second one and the third one if you count the one he did with the Sunday Service Choir. So you think this is Kanye going forward, or
Sure.
now that he's got the Donda album out the way, does he get back to like regular music, or like what do you think the next Kanye album
Nah,
sounds?
I think it's already too late. I think we're about to have more Donda albums. I think that's his bag now. I definitely think that when he said that he's no longer doing that type of music, but this is what he's going to be doing. His version of, I guess, gospel. At least that's what he's been doing. Like, I feel like Ye's been trying to make gospel cool again, which I can respect. It's a smart business move. Ain't nobody else in that lane that's on his level
Yeah,
as far as name wise, and it's not bad. It's a couple of songs that, just like he had us singing "Jesus Walks," he
he
had a
did.
couple these songs. Like, I don't really go to church, but these songs, man, I'd be like,
Yeah,
okay, man. He definitely did
yeah,
it.
he did. And so for me, as somebody who's, I grew up in church and I've listened to Christian rap for most of my life. I think for me, that's the next step I want to see. I want to see him collaborate more with Christian artists and try and elevate their exposure, I guess, to the world. A lot of people might know who Lecrae is,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a number of really dope rappers that are quote unquote Christian that I would like to see him to start work with as well. And that's not to say he need to get rid of all the Fabios, all the Travis Scott verses and all that, but mix the two. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe go get Mace for a
Yeah.
joint. Incorporate maybe 2 or 3 features of Christian artists. Find a Christian singer. He uses Sunday service choir, so I would like to see that on the next album. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but
That'd be dope.
it was refreshing. I did not know what to expect because, like I said, I listened to Jesus is King and I liked it. Like I said, that was more my lane for where I'm at in my life right now. But this was not that either. Like this was different, and so I liked it. I
Mm,
was impressed. Um, I know Drake is capable of more. I look forward. I think he's going to drop another album soon. I don't think he's going to wait because he's seeing the numbers, but he's seeing on social media. And I think he know people looking at him funny. And he let Kendrick step out here and do something crazy. He gonna have to get back in the studio ASAP.
yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I agree. I feel like Drake should strike back again, but honestly, the way that it's looking, I bet you he gonna drop another album with Future before he drops another album.
I think that would be a mistake.
That's just what I see happening. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he should drop another album if K Dot's coming back. Definitely, if Drake does not have another album waiting right now, like just in the vault, then
Right.
that's retarded. At least just
And
like
and
on
to that,
standby.
and I was saying to that point, we heard that Soldier Boy was mad. His verse got left off a song. Chris Brown didn't like that. His voice got left off a song. We heard the joint with Andre 3K. So it sounded like Kanye
Mm,
probably got some more songs out there that
of
we
course.
may or may not hear or see. So I think I think
Yeah.
we got to keep our radars up. But Kanye got these hoodies coming. He got these jackets that are in production. I got my email, so I'm waiting for that. Um,
Mm,
so yeah, man, should be
I
good.
seen the little post. I think Ye definitely gonna be good. The way that it's looking. All I need, man. Yeah, come on, man. Talk to Jay. We need one more Watch the
One more
Throne. That's
throne.
all I'm
Yeah,
asking for. Jay, please don't do another album with B. It was cool, but please don't do it again. One
yeah.
more Watch the Throne.
I think we're good on that. I think we're good on that.
Yeah, that's what I
Um,
need.
but
I
yeah,
need one more
man,
Watch the
definitely.
Throne, and I'll be happy.
I think we'll get it. I think they're both at a point in life, and I think it's a great because I think they're both at a point in life where they don't need the money. They can just go in and create whatever they want to create. And when creators
Mm-hmm.
create, I think you get really, really great things. I think the biggest thing is Kanye going to want to be on the potentially explicit album. And I don't think Jay is going to want all his songs censored or I don't know, blur, what do you call it? Where they bleeped out or whatever.
Edit
So I
it.
think, yeah, edit it. There you go. I think that'll be a source of contention. If Kanye's willing to let that slide, I think we can get one. If he don't, then I don't know. I think it's gonna be hard to get an album from them too.
What if they just drop 2 albums? One explicit, one
Or that,
edited, I guess. At
because
least that would be. I just need that album. I need that Watch the Throne through.
cool. Well, yeah, man, definitely appreciate you. Hopefully, y'all enjoy the content. Once again, as always,
Right.
shout out to QMC for giving us this platform, giving us this opportunity. Definitely check out Reckless
Mm-hmm.
Behavior on YouTube. Really, really dope show. My man, it's your OG is on there, or your OG, bro. I always forget the part at the end. But yeah, man, he
I just
on
added it. Don't
there.
worry.
Shout out to Dat Boy Media. He couldn't be with us here today, but he working.
Big shout out.
That man works like
That man definitely
nobody I've
working.
really
He's working,
seen.
working.
Working, and
I keep
it's
telling the
paying
man,
off.
like, just be cool, relax.
Yeah, you don't want to go into an early grave and can't enjoy the fruits of your labor. But no, shout out to
Exactly.
him for his
He crushing, bro.
contributions, for his just wisdom and insight. We miss you, man. Can't wait to have you back on. But we know why you ain't here, and
Can't wait.
it's definitely all love. Anything
Definitely.
else? Anybody you need to shout out? Give some love to? You got a birthday or something coming up?
Ain't nobody paying us, so nope. As far
Facts.
as now, the QMC rebrand is coming. As far as that, that's it.
Definitely.
Besides
So
that, it's
yeah, be
all
on the
us.
lookout for that. Definitely like, share, and subscribe to the King's Corner Instagram. Definitely follow us there. Facebook, join our Facebook group, and we're on YouTube as well. So hit that bell to get the notifications. Yeah, man, we appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We out.